Welcome back, baby. We are back with another Real Housewives of Potomac review. You already know we are over here singing the tea. I'm your host, Dustin, singer, actor, Lewis. Sometimes I sing, sometimes I give you all of the reality TV tea. But it's always going to be what you want and it's always going to be what you need. And baby, what you need to do right now is hit that notification bell button so when I do drop new content, you get those alerts. That's one. Two, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Share with a family member, share with a friend, share with the person next to you in the cubicle so we can do what? Grow our community over here. Y'all already know how it go. Y'all know how it go. So what we going to do now is dive on into this episode. So listen, we on Real Housewives of Potomac, season 10, episode 5. And you know, the episode was okay. It wasn't my favorite episode so far this season, but it's good. But some of this negativity gotta go. We just gonna start like that. Some of the negativity gotta go when it comes to this show. But let's talk about it. So the episode opens up. The girls are back at dinner. You know, they still at dinner where Stacey is allegedly dating Chris Samuels, girl. I guess, girl, if that's who you wanted to date when you was on break, by all means, date, honey. And then there's nothing wrong with it. You were single, he was single, or is single. I don't know. Date him. Why not? Ain't nobody mad at you. Date that man, Stacey. Date him. Date him as much as you want to. But listen, you know, Ashley's kind of bringing up this tea. She bringing up this drama, but Stacey lets it be known, baby, I was a single woman. Me and him, we met up. We are friends. We talked about our divorces. She said, baby, but you know what? I got a man at home, Ashley. How about you? She didn't say all that. I just gave her a little bit extra. Like if I was there, that's what I would have said to Ashley, baby. I got a man, baby. What about you, honey? Do you have one? Have several seats. She should have got. Stacey need to work on her reading. She need to call Nene. She need to call Cynthia Bailey. She need to call Marlo. You know, that bald head scallywag. She need to call the people up to help her with her reading skills because the Potomac girls ain't got it like that. But anyway, so you know, Stacey said, "Listen and listen good." Me and him, we hung out. We did what we had to do, but I ain't dating that man. And Stacey, if you dating him once again, girl, it's fine. Don't nobody care. We want you to date. We want you to go out there and have a good time. But Ashley, you was messy for that. You was real messy because you dropped that tea right on time. You said, let me get some of the heat off my girl Giselle because she don't really want to talk about her man right now. So we gonna jump on Stacey. Listen, y'all gotta leave Stacey be. Let Stacey be. Stacey is just such a cool person. Stacey is honestly hilarious. And I don't know if y'all have been catching her like QVC reviews. Baby, I'm obsessed with Stacey. I love me some Stacey. So she be lying. But I'm obsessed with my girl. So Stacey's all right with me. She gonna lie it down, but she is all right with me. So, you know, Angel was talking about Chris and she was like, you know, he ain't really like that. Cause, you know, Stacey was like, well, wouldn't you want to say that you dated me too? Now, Stacey, you did a little too much on that one. Cause no, I wouldn't. Beautiful woman, beautiful gowns. But, you know, you just not my cup of tea. Okay, if you know what I mean. So, Angel lets us know that Chris is actually one of her husband's mentors in the football realm. And she said, you know, he seems like a cool dude. She don't really know him like that, but that don't really seem like something that Chris would do. So Giselle is asking like, hey, have you even met Monique? And she was like, no, I haven't. I know y'all are friends with her. Stacey, you ain't met her, but baby, get ready. Cause you about to meet Monique. And, you know, Monique, she ain't shy snatching somebody up. Now, okay, Monique will snatch you up if you push her. She a cool girl. I think she in a different space. But I'm just putting it out there, Stacey. So you just get ready. Make sure, don't have your wig glued down that day. Have it to where she can just snatch it and go. So when she snatches you can just back up and just hit the door, girl. So don't glue it down whenever you get ready to meet her. So we got to make sure you're safe. But anyway, the ladies, they make it back to the villas. And, you know, they have a cute little party set up for Wendy. And let me tell you something. Angel and Kay, baby, when I say them faces was twisted and they were stuck on stank, baby, they did not want to be a part of that party at first. They was not feeling it. They, you know, they had a little bit of a rough night and they wasn't too fond of being a part of that party when it comes to them. They didn't want to be there. So, you know, Kay sits down and Giselle's like, you know, you good, girl? Oh, I'm tired. You know, Kay's like, I'm tired. Okay, Giselle was like, you can go to bed. You can go to bed. You don't gotta be here. You can go to bed, girl. So Kate goes to bed. She's super tired, girl. She's so tired she can't be around the rest of the ladies. But Angel stays. And listen, it was a good time. Ashley definitely got it started with the games, once Kay left. And, she starts asking Wendy some questions. So the question that she asked Wendy was like, look, girl, have you ever found a woman attractive? Because Wendy, we all want to know. We all want to know. And Wendy's like, yeah. She was like, baby, it was this fine stripper. She said, baby, that stripper had braces. And the braces was just doing it for me. Okay, I'm going to be real with you. I do think that braces can be really, really attractive on somebody. I think that is so cute sometimes seeing somebody, a grown person with braces. It's super cute about it. And not like the Invisalign ones. No, like the traditional braces. It was this older gentleman that I saw, and I ain't finna tell y'all my business. Anyway, they can look good on a good, handsome man around there. Yes, indeed. So, the part that was funny to me was Tia was like, well, I wish you would have asked me that question. She said, baby, because I found Rachel Maddow real fine, hot, and tempted. She said, she let it be known, baby, Rachel Maddow can have my number. She said, baby, my man ain't even got to know. Or he can know, he can join. I'm just doing a little extra. That lady ain't say all that. But Tia, I don't know why you felt the need to tell us that, but I'm glad you did. I really enjoy Tia as well. Most of the newbies, I enjoy. Tia is one of them. I really, really enjoy Tia. But that was really funny. And it was just like, Tia was like, I wish you would have asked me that question because I just need to get this off my chest. She said, baby, I got something I need to tell y'all, baby. And it was good to me. So, Ashley asked Jazzy. She said, you know what? And this is when Ashley really got messy. She said, so hey, Jazzy, I just want to ask you a question. So, have there been any infractions in your relationship with your man, Darius? And Jazzy was honest about it. She said, now, no. Previously, yes. Possibly. Maybe so. So, Ash is just like, girl, if you like it, I love it, girl. But I would say this, though. If you are in a relationship and somebody stepped out of the relationship and you're able to work through it if you can. Like, if they've done the work, if they've shown you that they've grown as a person, then, hey, maybe they won't do it again. So yeah, if Jazz is happy, I'm happy for her. Okay? So we just gonna leave that there. So Wendy is like, you know what? I want to ask a question. She said, Angel, Miss Angel, honey. She said, Angel of Mine by Monica. She said, if you had to kill one person in this group, who would it be? And Angel, without hesitation, Giselle. She said, because I ain't featuring Miss Giselle right now because what she did earlier, talking about I'm a catfish and I wear a filter. She said, absolutely not. That's who I take up out this group. I was shocked. I was not expecting Angel to come ready like that. And I will say this, Angel, welcome. You have finally arrived. You are letting the girls see you let your hair down and you having a good time with the girls, or so we thought. And the ladies are having a good time with you. And Angel, I thought that was great. Like when you had fun, you slapped fire with everybody. You was letting the drinks flow. All of you ladies looked like y'all had a good time at Wendy's birthday party. And that was great. I love to see it. It's honestly like when Kay left, a lot of the negativity left the room. So it was really, really nice to see Angel get to know the ladies by herself with Kay not being there. And, Angel is giving everybody a hug. Bye. The ladies had a good time. And I love to see that. The next day, child. The next day, we see Angel and Kay, and it's the next morning, they cheersing each other. We're going to talk about a positive day, and then boom. Negativity. I don't get why these two are negative Nancy's. Like, I don't understand. And I can understand, like, some of the standpoints with Angel, like when she was talking to Giselle. And speaking of that, Angel and Kay were having a discussion about Giselle, and Angel is a little disappointed in the way that Giselle handled the whole picture situation. She felt like Giselle was coming at her. She just had a baby recently. Maybe she's not feeling like she looks her best, even though she's a beautiful woman. But yeah, she was feeling away. So as they're having this conversation, Gizelle actually walks in, and you can tell that's a little awkward. And like the way Kay was doing it was like, "Hey Gizelle, yeah, we were just talking about you, not too good, not too fond of you or whatever right now. We ain't gonna even lie." But then Gizelle was like, "Okay, like, what, can I have a hug, girl? Let's see." So when Gizelle and Angel had their conversation, and Angel started crying, Gizelle was like, "Whoa. I apologize, girl. That was not what I was trying to do. I've been in your shoes. I've maybe not have felt my best, but I was not coming at you in a negative way." What Gizelle really was trying to get her to see is like, look, Angel, you use filters, right? I think that we can all say that she has zhuzhed her pictures up some. We all do it. I think what Gizelle was saying is you have done it so much that you sometimes look unrecognizable, and we are not seeing the beautiful person that we're seeing here. Yes, those pictures are beautiful, but the person that we're seeing right here in front of us is more beautiful possible. Well, in my opinion, more beautiful than the filters. I don't feel like you need all of those. But, I think that Gizelle really handled that situation with care, and she let the girl know, like, sincerely, I apologize because that is not what I was trying to do. So I hope that Angel was able to receive that, because Gizelle don't apologize much, but Gizelle really did. Now, Angel ain't want to hug her, and I get it, boundaries. We teach people how to treat you all day. But I do think that Gizelle was very sincere in that apology, because I don't think that she was trying to intentionally hurt her. I think she was just trying to draw attention to, like, girl, you ain't got to do that much. Now, I don't know if the body shaming thing, I don't really remember Angel saying anything about body shaming. Maybe because she said, like, the new mom and her looks and her appearance. Yeah, maybe that's it. But Gizelle didn't body shame her. She just was saying, like, hey, you got a lot of filters, girl. So I don't want to say Gizelle body shamed the girl. But I'm glad that they were able to work through that. It's cool. Now, the ladies meet up at the pool. So we see all of the ladies meet up at the pool, with the exception of Angel, because she need to get herself together, right? She just need a moment to herself. So as they're at the pool, we see Kay and Ashley. Ashley pulls Kay aside so that they can have a conversation, and so Ashley can just check in on Kay. That was nice of her to do. So when they go off to their own, Kay lets Ashley know, she was upset, about how her friend was treated with the whole catfish comment, and the situation with Wendy and what Jazzy tried to do with that. She just not feeling her best, and she just feels real disconnected from some of the ladies in the group. Yeah, I was tired, but in that moment, I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be around anybody. And I can understand that, Kay. I'm one of those people, if you know that your energy is going to bring the rest of the group down, do not come around. Stay at home. Stay at home if you are not going to come to the situation ready to party, ready to slap foul, ready to drink. Because, baby, we're going to drink, baby. Bottles of champagne all day for everybody. We going to drink. So I'm glad that she decided to stay away, because we knew it was not going to be a good situation, because she wasn't going to have fun. Now, when they're having their conversation, we see Gizelle with the rest of the ladies. Her, Wendy, Jazzy, Tia, Stacy. All of them are having a conversation, and, they're bringing up Wendy's B-Day. Like, they're bringing up her birthday party that they had the night. And, Stacy brings up, she felt like Kay leaving was rude. Stacy's like, girl, that was rude when she left. And Gizelle even says, hey, she said that she wasn't feeling her best. She was tired. We let her go. And the other ladies are like, look, we were all tired. We had all been through the same thing that she went through, but we wanted to be here and show up for our friend. We wanted to show up for our friend on her birthday and celebrate her. And the thing with Kay is, I think that Kay missed the mark on that, because she doesn't realize she allowed Wendy to have more energy in the area of, like, oh, me and this girl really not friends, because she couldn't even sit here with me and party with me. And that's the thing when it comes to this Kay and Wendy situation. Wendy is handling it very smart, because Wendy is approaching the situation like, I've done nothing to you, but we can see the things that you've done to me. So the way that Wendy is playing that situation, she's handling it very, very well. And Kay, girl, you are losing this one. I ain't gonna even hold you. You're losing that you and Wendy situation. And I think that Wendy is going to be a little passive aggressive. Wendy is going to be nonchalant when it comes to it. She ain't going to really give you too much. But I do think that Wendy's feelings were hurt because I think that she did value you a little bit more as a friend. And I think that it shows. So Angel finally shows up and she goes over to Kay and Ashley. And, they checking in to see how she doing. And, she lets them know, like, look, girl, I just needed a minute. Gizelle apologized, but I just really wasn't feeling that situation. And she even lets it be known, when she called her husband, he wasn't too happy. He was ready to catch a jet and come over there. To do what? I don't know. Angel, I don't know why you couldn't handle your own. Your man don't need to be there. Okay? So, there's that. But look. Y'all work through it. Gizelle apologized. I think that you can push forward and y'all can be good. So, the ladies talk about, because I like how when they do those like split scenes, right? When they go from one conversation to the next conversation. So we go back to the ladies and Gizelle is filling them in on her conversation that she had with Angel that morning. And honestly, the group is confused because they were like, wait, we just had a good time with this girl. Why did she wake up and just decide that she was going to be mad at you again about this situation when we moved past it the night before? And everybody's confused. And Wendy put it into great words, the way she was simply saying, like, look, there are two people in this group that are consistently being the negative people in this group. Why are they bringing all this negative energy? It is two people. And everybody can get along. Everybody's having a good time. But when those two people come into contact with each other, it's negative. Not when they're separated, they're good. But why does this keep happening? Why do we keep having these negative tendencies when they get around each other? Who knows? But they got to stop. They are leaning on each other and they really, really got to stop that. So the ladies head over to the Alexander Hamilton house. Listen, Kenny was in that thing saying it down, baby. Kenny said, hold on, I got me an original track. Hold on, let me play it for y'all. He said Babyface. He said The Dream. Baby, he said Taylor Swift. Baby, he got all the people. He said all the people need to listen to me sing this track. Baby, he had to get all the people to listen to him. Baby, Ashley, take lessons. Because that man, he had everybody in unison. He had the harmonies flowing. And he was able to do all that and drive. Ashley, all we ask you to do is do a little burlesque and stand up there and sing, girl. And you be all over the place with the notes. Take some lessons from that man when you're up there in wherever y'all at. I can't remember here. Wherever y'all at. Y'all go and do it. And Wendy, you was right on time with that shade because she definitely needs to take some notes from that man. And speaking of Wendy with the shade, baby, the lady is over here telling the people about Alexander Hamilton's story. And Wendy just, oh yes, because that's one thing people will do. They'll stab you in the back. Then they'll stab you in the front. Then they'll shake it down to the left. And then they'll do a little twirl on the right. Wendy was not letting up off of Kay. Kay said, listen. If she want to be passive aggressive and do all that, then that's fine. But I ain't giving Wendy no energy. Me and the girl ain't even spoke to each other. And Wendy just doing all this in this man's house. That man's spirit is trying to rest. And Wendy is up in there just causing all that calamity in that man's house. That man said, excuse me, ma'am, miss, I gotta live here. You don't. Please calm down to my house. Wendy, you did too much in that poor man's house. Alexander Hamilton, we done seen the musical. You ain't have to do all that. The man's life ended in shambles. Please go away from me with this. Now, as they're at the house, we see Tia check on Angel. And, Tia's asking her, hey, how you doing, girl? That was a lot that happened the last night. I don't think it was handled the best. And Jazzy said, now, hold on. Tia, you was in agreement with what Gizelle had to say earlier. So why are you backpedaling now? And Tia cleans it up and she's like, look, don't get me wrong. I don't think the question was wrong. I just think that the question should have been asked in a different way. I think that Gizelle should have pulled her aside and asked that question. I can agree with that. I can agree. If Gizelle truly wanted to know, Gizelle should have pulled her aside and asked her because the girl just had a baby. She's in a sensitive space already. You don't know what that person's going through. So I think that Gizelle could have handled it differently. I agree with Tia on that. We see Ashley calling her kids because they love Hamilton the musical, and she lets them know that she's in their house. Super cute. Super, super duper cute. Now, I need to get back to this. The girls are outside walking, and, they continue their conversation, Angel, Jazzy, and Tia. And Angel just lets Jazzy know, like, hey, girl, the comment about the wags in the 10 years, I wasn't coming at you. I was just explaining to you, like, how I am in this lifestyle. And, they continue the conversation, and Jazzy and Tia, they talk about her energy with Kay versus how it is with the rest of the group. When she is with Kay, she is one particular way. But when she was over there at Wendy's birthday party, girl, we was hugging, we was having a good time. And Angel lets it be known, like, oh, wait, I was annoyed. I really wasn't having that great of a time. And they are confused because they're like, girl, wait, when you was giving all of us high fives, giving us hugs, you was annoyed? And she was like, yeah, y'all don't really know me like that. And they're confused because they're like, wait, this girl literally was cool. Did she catfish her feelings when she was with us? And it seemed like she did have a good time. And I guess she slept on a little bit more and she was annoyed with what Gizelle said. I can get it. It happens in those situations once you think about something for a moment. But, girl, it really feels like you went back to Kay and then there was an issue, which we see them show that on the show. Like, they do a flashback, and we see when you walked into the space with Kay, your energy changed. You were in a good mood, I feel like, when you walked in there. Kay was not necessarily in the best mood because she was annoyed, right? Because she didn't have a moment to, like, decompress from the situation and have fun with the other ladies. You did. But instead of you giving her your energy and trying to uplift her, you wallowed in the negative energy with her, which is not the best thing to do. Y'all gonna have to separate. You was in a good space with the group. The group really let you in. They let you have fun. But you saying that, you good on everybody when you was with Kay, that ain't the best look. Like, you're gonna have to stand up for that, or you're gonna have to own that at the reunion, girl. So just be prepared, because they're gonna definitely call you out on that. So, the ladies make it back to the Curly Girls Collective Chateau. And, it's funny that everybody has a different name for that chateau. I thought that was super cute. But, Wendy was like, hold on, we having a good time. Open up that popcorn, girl. Gizelle, back to you and this man. What's going on? And listen, she said, you know what? Ashley tried to jump in there and save you and try to give Stacey a little piece. But nah, Gizelle, we need to know what's going on with you. And Stacey, they almost jumped on you again because, see, you tried to jump in there and try to be, oh, yeah, what about you? Stacey, you're not ready to handle them type of conversations yet. You need to just observe a little bit longer, because you try to jump in, then Wendy had to save you up out of it again. Girl, you should have just kept quiet, baby. Because they try to bring up you dating Chris Samuels again, girl. But Wendy said, baby, we ain't even on that right now. Gizelle, back to you. What's going on with you and this man? Is that your man, girl? Is you dating him? Is you loving him? Is you holding him tight in the middle of the night? She needed to know. And Gizelle was like, look, me and him, we cooling. We going on dates. We having fun. And she said, well, has he met your kids? And Gizelle said he's met, she didn't tell them, but she told us in the confessional, no, he's met Grace, and Grace thinks that he's age appropriate, and she thinks that he's a good man for her. And I hope that this is a good man for Gizelle. I'm happy for Gizelle. I think that Gizelle deserves all of the good things in life, and she's a beautiful woman. And I love to see that her and Wendy's friendship is blossoming as well, because that was a beautiful moment also. So I'm loving this new Gizelle that we're getting. I really am enjoying Gizelle. So shout out to Gizelle. I'm loving it. Now, Angel brought up, her man gave her $5,000 for her to go and drop and go buy up the whole island, baby. He said, I'm giving you 5 stacks, girl. Them girls had you upset. Here goes some money, baby. Go buy us every t-shirt they got in the shop. Because looked like that's all she could buy. T-shirts and some oils and stuff. Not trying to shade the people. Just that's all they showed us. I don't know if she was going to go buy the Alexander Hamilton home or what she was going to do with that $5,000. But good to you, girl. And I ain't mad at you, baby. Because let me tell you something. My man sent me $5,000. If there's a man out there that would like to send me $5,000, I will be attaching my Cash App to this video. Because you can send it at any moment, anytime, any place. You can send me that $5,000, baby. Please send me $5,000. Please. But, So yeah. So Giselle is asking Tia about her man, and yeah, I just love me some Tia. I just love Tia. And Tia gives us a backstory on how her and her husband met, and then her and Wendy are having the conversation about, did your family give you a hard time by not marrying a Nigerian man? And she was like, girl, absolutely. Still do sometimes. And the way that, I love when she said, just because me and my husband were both black, I didn't realize that our black experiences were going to be so different. And that is a big thing. We come from different walks of life. So I really, really like Tia. I love what Tia is bringing to the show. So it's great. So, the ladies are going shopping. They get on the Sprinter. They're going shopping. And, Wendy's not feeling her best, but enough about all that. Baby, when Angel had said she had texted her man sex, and her man had said, all right, girl, when you get back here, that's going to be another baby. I know that's right. But, baby, my girl Stacey said, ooh, let me try that. Stacey said, baby, let me dip my toe into them waters and see what's going to happen. Baby, Stacey texted her man. He said, you got the wrong number. Baby, what I tell you. That was good to me. Stacey and her man are funny. I think that when he said, what's his name? Timu? No, Timo, the shopping place. Timo, something like that. Where you can go and buy clothes and stuff. That's her man. But baby, that man, he shamed her down to the TV. He said, you want to do it with me? Like, who is it that you want to do this with? And I do think that he was joking with her. But when she sent that picture that, Stacey girl, please, that man did not. It was just so funny when she sent that little, baby, Stacey said, you know what? You're going to get into this, sir. And it was the funniest thing. And then, they head over to the steel drums, and that was cute as well when they were playing the steel drums, but Wendy is not feeling her best. Wendy's not feeling her best, so she's gonna call it a night. She's not gonna go to dinner with the girls, and everybody is getting ready for dinner. Now, when they make it to dinner, the ladies make it to the Sunshine Bar, and they meet Mr. Sunshine himself, baby. Mr. Sunshine was handing out the killer bees. It looked like a cool spot. I would love to go and visit. Looks really, really, really cool. But out of nowhere, Angel says, oh, am I going to be on the menu tonight? And to be honest, in Angel's defense, I do think she was playing. I do think that she was trying to be funny. It just didn't land. Or she didn't deliver it in a way for it to be funny. Or, in her defense, again, she could have been making a joke for her, but we just don't know enough about her for it to come off like it was a joke. Because it really came off like, girl, please, like, go away from us with this. We don't care nothing about that. We good. It was just random. It just came off a little bit random, but Giselle was like, hey, Kay, I know Wendy's not here, but I do want to bring this to you. She did feel away. She was hurt that you did not stay to celebrate her birthday. And, Kay said, I was hurt for my friend. I was tired. I did not want to be in that space, but I do appreciate Wendy letting somebody know that she had some sort of feelings about me, because she's just been giving me the cold shoulder, and we passing by each other like ships in the night at this point. Like, they had a conversation, but my biggest thing when it comes to them having a conversation is Kay is going to have to be okay with what Wendy is giving her. Because I think that Kay is wanting Wendy to just come to her with open arms and just cry and just give her all of this. And Wendy is not going to give you that, Kay. So what you are receiving from her, you are going to have to be okay with that. And, when they were having more of the conversations, Kay was, Ashley was talking about, Kay, I think it was kind of a good thing that you weren't there, because we were able to get to know Angel. And, Jazz is like, well, hold on. She said that she didn't really have a good time. She didn't enjoy us like that. And then everybody's like, wait, what? You didn't enjoy us? You didn't have fun? Like, that was a little weird. So Angel lets it be known that she did have a good time. She just felt like she was on the chopping block. She slept on it. I was just not in the best place. I was still feeling a way about the comment that was made the day before. So I can understand how she feels that way. And, she slept on it. She wasn't feeling good. So, Giselle and Kay, kind of have a conversation again. They're picking up their conversation. And Kay is, once again, just letting it be known how she feels. But Kay is like, look, One of the things that bothered me too was Jazzy, you bringing up, I said something about Wendy during me and Wendy's like issue. You already know me and her are at odds right now, and then you doing that, piling it on top of it, made the whole situation worse. And listen, they got to going back and forth, and then Jazzy was like, I don't know if you jealous of me. And then Kay was like, jealous of what, baby? Your man had 2 kids on you. And they like, girl, Kay, please let that go. Please don't bring that up to this lady no more. And Jazzy is saying that he didn't. If the lady's saying that he didn't, then he didn't. I don't know. Oh, let me say this. If the lady say that she okay with it, then okay. We just gonna go with that. If she fine, we fine. That's all right with y'all, because it's all right with me. She all right with her man doing what he did, then it's all right with me. I don't know what they situation look like, but she said, baby, look, I got him now. I got the ring, and that's all that matters. But I do think that they need to stop bringing up that whole kid situation. I do, because it is what it is. The girl finna get married to him, or she is married to him now, so water under the bridge at this point. But it seemed like Kay and Jazzy were getting on good ground, but Kay wants to know, what is this awful thing that I said about Wendy? What is it? And I'm with Ashley. If you want to move forward with her, it is fair for you to tell her. If you said that she said this, girl, just go ahead and put it out there. Tell us what it is that she allegedly said. And that's kind of where the issue, well, not the issue, where the episode ends. And I gotta say this, Jazzy, if you said it, or if she said it, just go ahead and put it out there, girl. Stop hanging it over the girl head. Just go ahead and put it out there. Whatever she allegedly said, didn't say, could have said, put it out there so we can all move forward with this. So we can all go away from us with this, okay? And y'all, that is where the episode ends, and that is where we are going to end this review. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for joining me this week. If you have not seen the Bell Collective recap, definitely go over there and check that out. Even if you're not watching the show, go and check it out, because it's really, really good. And if you're not watching the show, get into it. Bell Collective is great. It's a great show. Great season so far. So definitely check that out. And until next time, have a good one, everybody.